Hey, how's it guys, and welcome to my channel. Just want to start off by thanking all my new subs. I've hit the 80 sub mark now. You guys have made me extremely happy. Thank you guys so much. And just a side note, I just want to say that after I put out the video about my opinions of what's happening in my country, I have come to the realization that actually people will do what they want, how they want, and when they want, because it's just what they want. And in today's society, this is how people are behaving, as if I want it right now and I will do whatever I need to do to get it right now, which partly I can understand, but I don't condone. So I'm gonna leave all of that aside, and I'm just gonna carry on proving that the earth is a globe. And every time I see a photo opportunity showing, like in this photograph, clouds coming up from below the horizon, and I'm on my way home, so I'm in a moving taxi, and I decided to just take photos, and I was actually surprised that they came out quite nicely. And that little crack there, you can see that that's the crack in the windscreen, and it's a really bumpy road. But I think these photographs show that no matter how far we drive, we're never gonna touch the clouds when they are like this. They will always seem to be backing away from us, no matter how close we seem to get to them. And that is part of the earth being a globe. Things will be hidden beyond the horizon until we keep moving forward, and then those things come into view. That's how it would work on a globe, and that's how it does work, because our earth is a globe. And today's topic is on photography. I mean, really, flat earthers, I don't understand what you mean when you say zero authentic pictures, because there are a good number of satellites up there taking lots and lots and lots of photos in succession, and then all of that data has to be stitched together to make a coherent picture, right? It's a process. I mean, I don't understand what your argument is, because even if it's just one shot, or whether it's 40 shots stitched together to look like sometimes, right, there's layering. You take a lot of photos and then you layer it to give it more detail. That is a thing also. It doesn't mean because it's photoshopped it's fake. The original image is still a photo. So when I captured the footage of the comet, I wondered if I would catch, something nicer than that, because what can top catching a comet going by? And I didn't think about it much. I just thought, okay, that's gonna be my highlight, and I carried on. But something I've always wondered about is the wind speeds on the surface of the earth versus wind speeds in the other layers of the atmosphere. And it seems like in this footage I have gathered proof that sometimes the wind speed closer to the surface of the earth can be different to the wind speeds in the upper layers. Look, I don't know what they might be like in kilometers per hour, but coming up now is footage of clouds coming up from below the horizon and going over my head, and it's gonna go from east to west. And also the clouds coming up from below the horizon going over my head is probably something like south to north, and then the clouds coming from the east going to the west in the footage left to right is lower. You can see the clouds are lower in elevation than the clouds going over my head. You will see in a few seconds they do come closer to the camera, and I am amazed by this footage, guys. And this is all happening in one day. The first time lapse was in the morning, and this was sometime around midday this was happening. And then I also took off sunset because I knew that the clouds will provide almost like a filter so I can capture a beautiful sunset. So before we get to sunset, what happened was the wind changed direction again and started blowing the clouds north to south. And as you can see, it's coming from behind me and going right down to below the horizon. And in the distance there, you can even see a gap between the horizon and the clouds. You know, sometimes when the weather is like this, I wish I had two devices so I can film in both directions and show the true effect of clouds coming up from below the horizon or beyond the horizon and going right over my head and going down below the opposite horizon. That would have been fun. Sometimes I wonder if flat earthers know the history of, well, anything. You know, for example, photography. Just saying that there are 0 authentic pictures from space doesn't prove anything. All it shows is that flat earthers don't know the history of photography or how photography works. When I started taking pictures, I used to just snap here, snap there, and snap everywhere. And then I realized that time-lapse works better than just taking one photo at a time. And then I had to learn the processes of time-lapse. And then I had to be patient because time-lapse is quite a laborious thing, you know. And in the beginning, it was much, much, much more time-consuming. In the beginning, that guy used to stand under the black cloth and only letting that pinpoint of light come in and then clicking the button, and with a big explosion and a puff of smoke, he would take his photograph and then rush off to develop it in a dark room. That took a lot of time. And now we have sophisticated cameras mounted onto sophisticated equipment orbiting a rotating Earth, capturing hundreds upon hundreds of photographs and then sending them to Earth to be processed into proper images. And that's how photography has progressed. You know, with one guy standing under a dark cloth to now a camera can be anywhere taking a picture of anything. So I don't understand flat earthers' arguments against the 0 authentic pictures from space argument that they have. I don't understand it. It just doesn't make sense. So you cannot have it both ways. The Earth is massive, and mostly it cannot be caught in one shot because it's a ball, and you cannot see all sides of the ball in one go. Okay, you have to go around it to catch all points on the ball. Once I told my friend Dead Kennedy in space that all the photos I take scream of a globe Earth, and I think I prove it every single time that our Earth is indeed a globe. And what I don't understand is how flat earthers can lie so blatantly. And then what they do, which is even worse, is copyright strike globe Earth content creators. And I saw this weekend that Sly Sparkane and Reds are having a problem with FE Core. There is no reason to copyright strike somebody. What you need to do is rebut what they are saying with evidence. Bring your own evidence. And I personally feel that flat earthers are approaching their stance on the shape of the earth in the wrong way. Just making blatant assertions based on no evidence but just your own word and your own very limited view is infantile, to say the very least. Science is evidence-based, and A scientific fact is an established fact. That means it's accepted. It has been proven and proven and proven. No matter how many times you try and disprove it, it proves that idea to be right. And one of those ideas is the shape of the earth, which is a sphere. So I fear that, flat earthers tell us to do our own research. But when they do the research, it proves a globe earth time and again. So basically, when you say that you don't believe that there are authentic pictures from space, you are saying that, well, cameras don't work, or I don't know how cameras work, so the photos aren't real. But then you use the technology developed around a globe to try and refute the globe. And that is what makes me laugh the most. You use the technology to try and refute the technology. That doesn't make any sense. And I have the utmost respect for Robert Simmons, the guy who said that it's photoshopped, but it has to be. Because I understand what he means. He's got to sift through that terabytes of data and extract the information he needs. Because as we know, information via the web is data. It has to be converted again. I mean, you guys act like you don't know anything. And also, just as a side note, the first photo of Earth from space wasn't taken by NASA. So maybe you should try and look beyond your NASA goggles to find the truth. Thank you guys for watching. See you next time, when I will be bringing photos of the equinox. Enjoy. Bye.